Over the past couple of months, I've been doing a lot of work with leaders around developing their personal trademark, how they'd like to be described as a leader, but also what type of legacy they would like to leave. As part of this process, I've been getting them to think back and consider who's a leader that's had a really positive impact upon my development or my journey. Which leads me into today, where I'd like to share with you my own personal story of a leader who's had a really positive influence and impact on my life. This takes me back a number of years ago, where I sought out this leader whose team that I wanted to work in. At the time too, my wife Michelle and I were also debating whether to take a sabbatical year in around 18 months' time. The commentary we were getting around that, because we'd be in our sort of early to mid 30s, was, that's no good for your career. It's really poor financially. Parents were telling us, we should really start to grow up and start thinking about the future. So these are the things we were debating at the time. And as I joined this leaders team and I really enjoyed the experience working with this person, unfortunately it was very short-lived, because I was only in that team for around about 4 months before this leader took a job at another organisation. And I remember on his last day, we decided to go out for a team coffee. And he gave us all these token presents as a way of saying thank you for being part of the team. And the present I received was this small little quote book, which probably would have cost a couple of dollars at the local news agency, a token of saying thanks. As I picked up this book, I flicked straight to a quote and landed on this page, and the quote was by Mark Twain. And the quote said that in 20 years from now, you'll regret the things you didn't do more than the ones that you did. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbour, and catch the trade winds in your sails. Go dream, explore, discover. And I remember after that day, I ran home to Michelle, and as we were debating and thinking about this sabbatical, I was like, Michelle, you wouldn't believe, what happened. Check out this quote. I reckon it's a sign. And as Michelle and I read through it, it was at that point that we said, yep, we're definitely doing it. We're taking the year off. We're taking the sabbatical. And it's been a little bit of a mantra for us so far in our lives. It's about to live a life of no regrets. And what was interesting is, as we moved houses a couple of months ago, I thought that I'd lost this book. And as going through a couple of boxes during the COVID time, I actually managed to find it once again. And I decided to contact that leader and said, do you remember actually giving this book to me? And also, do you realize the impact that actually had on our lives? It changed the whole trajectory of where we were going. And this leader, he remembered the day and he remembered the coffee, but he can't ever remember giving me the book. And the point I'd like to make here is sometimes those simple acts of leadership can be really, really powerful, and can actually have a really productive, but sometimes also counterproductive impact on the teams and the people that you encounter. So one of the challenges I'd like to put out to you is have a think about who's a leader who's had a really positive impact or influence on your journey. And have you been able to tell this person that the impact that they may have had on you? I'd highly recommend it. I think it's a really valuable conversation to have. And especially in this time when things are looking a bit bleak, telling somebody what a wonderful and amazing impact they've had on your lives, I think is a great deed to do.